I was not afraid to do what Hampton did and turn off the power if somebody wasn't paying. I just turn them off for the room. I don't. They're not the one paying the bill. The house still has electricity. They're more welcome to hang out in the common areas, but their room would not have power. I also learned in a way to deal with things. Sometimes you just got to speak in the language. A lot of them don't have money sometimes, but they do have things. And so I'll tell you now, I took more Xboxes and PlayStations and video games. I took a car in from somebody. I took a Mercury Mystique in from somebody for $1,200. He was behind 2 months, and he had this car that ran, and there was a spare car, and he's like, "We just take the car." I'm like, "Done." I took the car to CarMax. They gave me $1,800 for it. It was open across the board.
Wow. Solving problems. Great solution.
I love solutions. But that's the thing is tenants, a lot of tenants, especially young tenants, don't know those things yet. And those are the motions that they're naturally going to go through of learning that pawning your Xbox is expensive. But if you don't plan to pay your rent, that's probably what you're going to have to do. Me simply saying, "Hey, I'll hold your Xbox until payday," but you're also going to pay a late fee for it, right? To me, that just made sense. So I just put it in my room, locked the door, and called it a day. Was it fun to do it? No. But in the house where it's a bunch of guys hanging out, taking away the video game console that's in the living room, everybody comes home and says, "Where's the console at?" And they go, "Yeah, well, Zach didn't pay his rent this month, and so it's been locked away." All of a sudden, people's pride's on the line. Or they so all of a sudden, right? So just it's helping them along to a certain extent. You're not doing anything. You're not putting them out in the cold or anything crazy, but you're making sure that you're making it easy for them and a profit for yourself. And hopefully they learn, you profit, everybody goes on about the business, right?
That's awesome. So commandment number 4, right? And thou shalt use smart financing. It's super important. And you can even get with my buddy John. He can kind of help you navigate that, right? There's FHA where you can put a minimal down payment of 3.5% down. There's other types of loan products. If you are a veteran, you can use the VA loan product if that works best for you, right? So you want to consult a great loan officer that can help you navigate those options. And there's other types of options where you can even have a conventional for maybe 3 to 5% down. Whatever works for you, you want to get with someone who is a competent loan officer that can help you navigate all that. And owner-occupant financing also provides leverage. So you could do a situation where you take your cash and just let the owner carry the note for you while you live there. That's also called contracted deed in some circles. Again, you may want to have great representation like a real estate agent, or you want to speak to a real estate attorney to kind of help you navigate that entire process. How did you guys buy your first properties or a house that you house hack? How did you guys pay for it?
Mine was pretty quick. I found a house for sale next to campus, and then I went and talked to a bank, and they basically laughed at me and said, "You barely have any credit. You're in school. You got a free ride, but you got a part-time job. You no other assets. So no, we can't give you a loan." I was like, "I'm going to make this, and I've got these plans. I'm going to be a millionaire by the time I'm 30." He's like, "You're 19. Shut up. Get out. Let the door get the way out." And so I called the bank and mom and dad. I was like, "Again, what do you think about if we bought this house and you co-signed for it? Said I could live there. I could rent out the rooms. We'd make a little bit of money. It's a good deal." This old lady selling it, she liked me because I would take care of the dog, and she lived next door. So we got a good deal on the house. And then when I could pay them off or put the loan in my name, I was able to do so through a first-time homebuyer program. So the thing you didn't mention, there's maybe down payment assistance programs or a loan forgiveness or different programs out there to help you as an owner occupant. So talk to your lender, talk to your realtor about that stuff. But the back of mom and dad helped me out until I was, until I had a first job, and then I could sign things over.
See, I love that. The Investor Talk podcast today is brought to you by Liberty Mutual. And managing real estate can be complicated. Get that one thing off your plate by calling our great friends at Liberty Mutual. you can provide a code that's Milton Ali KY, that's Milton Ali, Kentucky, 444689, and you can call them at 1-800-266-0644, Liberty Mutual, for their insurance.
Back at mom and dad, the rate was, they, was worked out well. And they got food and board for me and another one of their children. I got to build up some equity and a lot of experience, managing properties, not knowing what I was doing. But what about you, John? How did you get the financing for your first property?
Well, I used to be Insight, and then it's Charter, but it's like a local cable company, right? And I worked night shift because night shift paid an extra $30 an hour. And so I went and got an FHA loan. And one of my other buddies that worked with me at Charter, been a long time friend, we bought the house together. He took the basement initially, and I took the upstairs room. We were going to rent all the rooms out in between. We both worked at Charter, both applied for the loan. We got an FHA loan for 3.5% down. I took out a loan against my car for my portion with 3.5% because you can borrow from anything that's your asset. So I had a paid off Dodge. Wasn't very nice, but I was able to take out $4,000 or $5,000 loan from my side of the down payment. I put that down. He put his down. We bought the house and moved people in. The first thing we agreed to do was pay off our down payment, where we got our down payments back out of all the rents. And then as soon as we had that, we tried to get a 6-month reserve in the house. And around that time, he got deployed. And he's like, man, I got a dip. And I was like, I can buy you out of it. And I think I gave him a couple grand from the reserve fund that we had. And I was like, this is, all I've really got situation on. And when I took over from there, he got deployed and I kept ripping out and going on from there. Wow.
That's